What's up everyone, and welcome to the S3 Power Sports Shop, where today we're going to show you how to install our Can-Am Maverick X3 Weld-In trailing arm gusset kit that you can add to your factory trailing arms. Since the launch of the Can-Am X3, we've seen a lot of bent trailing arms, and it's a mixture of things that cause this. It could be crashing the vehicle, it could be a really big jump, truly sending the bike, or it could be hard cornering and lateral loading. Here at S3 Power Sports, we offer a Weld-In trailing arm gusset kit for the 64 and 72-inch suspension to strengthen these trailing arms on a budget. Today, we're going to walk you through the 72-inch or the XRS. These are really nice laser cut CNC bent plates, so they fit really, really well. You're going to eliminate the twist in the trailing arms, the bending in the center section, damage from hard impacts by bottoming out shocks. There's a lot of reasons that your factory trailing arms can bend. So our gusset kit is designed to go on the outside of the trailing arm, or the part of the trailing arm that faces towards your tire. To get it kicked off, all you need is simple hand tools such as a grinder and a welding machine. Most of the time we use MIG, so that's what we're going to use today. Our gusset kit is going to come in as bare metal, CNC bent, and laser cut, so that makes your welding process a lot easier. But one of the most important things is to get all of the paint off of your factory trailing arm so that you get a good weld. These plates do have a left and right orientation, but we're going to start out with the biggest plate, get this thing marked, and then start cleaning up with the grinder. It's going to cover up these openings so that you offer a lot of added strength from the sway bar, from bottom out the shocks, from jumping, all sorts of hard impacts in this area. Make sure you leave yourself plenty of room. It drops on here, lines up with the factory welds. And so now you're going to take your permanent marker and trace the outside. Very easy to do. Make you a rough mark all the way around our gusset kit. You don't have to be super precise in this. When you pick it up, now you've identified your area that you need to clean up with the grinder. At the end of the day, you're going to want to clean up a minimum of 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch outside of our gusset kit to make sure you get a good weld and make sure no paint will contaminate your weld. Next, you're going to want to grab your curve plate, which there is a left and a right for this one. This one's designed to cover up the opening on the inside edge of your trailing arms and really strengthen it from the trailing arm actually twisting under heavy impact. Drops right on there. Mark this gusset out, pull it off. You know where to clean up with the grinder. So this is the final gusset plate for our Weld-In trailing arm gusset kit. And it's going to go up here on the top side of the trailing arm where we've seen a lot of breakages from lateral loading. We laser cut a hole in this bracket so that you can line it up with the factory hole for the brake line mount. We're going to grab a 3/16 rivet to help us line it up to make sure it's exactly where it needs to be. You start by dropping the plate on top of the trailing arm, grab your 3/16 rivet, drop it into our hole, and then you're going to line it up in the factory hole. So once you get this thing lined out, obviously you trace it out just like the other one so that you know where to clean up the paint. Again, you don't have to be super precise on this because it's important that you get all the paint away from this thing so that the weld penetrates good. When you're cleaning up the area that you're going to weld, go ahead and smooth this down a little bit so that our gusset plate lays flat on the trailing arm and you get a good weld. So a lot of people are always asking how much I actually work around the shop and what I can actually do up here. Well, today I'm going to be the one that's showing you how to put on this Weld-On gusset kit. Safety is most important to us. So when you're grinding and cutting, you want to make sure to wear safety glasses, or for me, I'm going to wear a safety shield so I can protect this pretty little moneymaker. Our weapon of choice to clean off the powder coat is going to be a 4.5 inch wire wheel. This seems to be most effective for the initial knockoff of the heavy powder coat. Since this trailing arm is going to try to run from you while you're cleaning it up, I usually like to take a C-clamp and attach it to the table so it doesn't move around. You got to attach the table. It's time to get all this paint off. Make sure you clean outside of your mark so you have plenty of area to weld. A little tip that we learned for this top section is to go to a 2-inch wire wheel on a drill bit, and you can get down in there and get everything cleaned out. Woo! That was tough, but now that you got this area ground down, you need to grab your gussets, lay it back over the top of here, and make sure you've got plenty of room for welding. A big thing that we always do that makes it a lot easier is to go ahead and grab a C-clamp and attach the gusset to the face of the trailing arm. That way it doesn't move around while you're trying to weld it, and you make sure it stays in a good spot. Now that you got your first gusset plate clamped on, it's time to grab your welding hood and get after it. For this job, we're going to use a MIG or a wire gun that's argon assisted. Seems to make it a little easier to get this welding done. There's a lot of material that needs to be welded here, and there's a long distance run, so you don't want to do it all in one pull. You'll get some warpage, some twisting from the heat. A good rule of thumb that we use is about 5-inch welds and move all over the place. So you'll start on one end, run 5 inches, come over here to this top corner, run 5 inches. And so we'll mix it up and alternate it all through until you get it fully welded. All right, so keep in mind, after you get a couple of good tack welds down, you can get your C-clamp out of the way and you can finish welding this thing out. You're gonna weld your face plate first so that you can weld underneath the area that the other gusset will go. So we'll weld this one on, clean up where the other gusset's gonna lay in, lay the other gusset on, weld in. This is nothing that you should be scared of. You don't have to be an expert welder to do this, because at the end of the day, we're offering this gusset kit to strengthen and reinforce your trailing arms. They're already pretty strong, so this is just an additive to it. Super easy installing, it's nothing to be afraid of, even if you're new to welding. Now it's time to get out your grinder, clean up your booger weld so your buddies don't make fun of you. Keep in mind we have this same kit for the 64-inch suspension, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to call the guys at the shop. They're super knowledgeable, they can walk you through anything that you got, and you can always check us out on Facebook and Instagram.